a big hole in the wall because it'd been blown up, and that's where my bed was. Like that's like
you're literally on a spot which has been blown up before, like
about a week before, and they coming back the next week. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come out and put a fucking gun out to fucking Hammer house. And he was going, oh, fuck it, shoot me there, shoot me. I was like, what the fuck is that? So in America, like in the middle of the ice, fought at Madison Square Gardens, fought at the O2, fought all over the world.
The Hammer Marshman.
He's like, we're fighting, and I was like, yeah, I can earn a certain amount of money if I win a fight.
Yeah.
Or I can sit to work and I'm guaranteed a big wedge of money. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
It's
like
a toss up, is it?
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's like, and the only reason I fight now, I think, the only reason I still want to fight, I ain't done because I'm 31 and I think a lot of people think I'm done. I'm never seeing middleweight again, like definitely.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people think I'm done, but the only reason I still fight is because I got the dog in me, man. I will never not want to fight. Cause
you love it.
It was never. I love fighting. It was never about money.
No.
It was never about that. It was always about me and that bloke just having it out. You could watch my fights, can't you? And
you can tell that from it.
You can tell it's the enjoyment factor. It doesn't even matter win or lose, but I'm there to fucking have it.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
can swear. You can swear, mate, all you want. You can swear all you want. I think you can move out a bit closer, sorry, mate. Yeah, you can
speak quiet, don't I?
Well, you can hear yourself a bit, can't you, in there a bit. But yeah, I think literally, like you said, the way you fight, you can tell you're there for a fight, aren't you? You're not there to like win on a points decision or whatever.
I was never. Well, when I started training, I was never like skilled. I was just like I was there. You know what I mean? Obviously, because some people think I'm just a banger. Fuck, my jiu-jitsu's good, my wrestling's good. But obviously, I do just enjoy the stand and trade. But I was never like massively skilled in any area. I was never, to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I'm probably proud that I got as far as I did, because if in reality I probably shouldn't have. Like I was just a big chubby kid from App Lady that was that was just hard up for a fight.
Well, mate, you've gone far though, haven't you? Like realistically, you're the pinnacle of the sport in the UFC, and like it was unheard of really in Wales, wasn't it, at the time?
I basically it ain't even like a bad anyway. It's like a fact in my eyes. Like I've achieved everything that I wanted to. Like because you know, as I'm on the back end of my career now, and I'm like looking to you hear things like he's done, he's not been sort of thing like that, right? The only people who use the term has been are people who never have fucking been. Yeah. They're the ones who use the term has been. It's never fucking have been. I've done everything I wanted to do in MMA, and it wasn't my life. It's still in my life. Like MMA was never my life. It was just like I enjoyed it. Like if I could have fought on the weekend and done my normal life, just had a scrap on a Saturday night, I would have been happy.
Yeah, you just would have ended up in prison, like, innit?
Fucking close. I'm the only one who didn't, out of my brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, and my mother and father.
Is that because you were in the cage rather than on the street, is it? Or?
When I was a kid, I was set out, I was definitely joining the army. And I'm massively proud of being in the parachute regiment. But I only joined the parachute regiment because when I went to do all the testing and stuff, I went and done the testing and I had a fast mile and a half, and I was like a fucking 17 stone fucking 16-year-old. I was like, and I done a mile and a half, and I was doing it like 8:59, which is a fucking decent time.
Yeah.
And they was like, you should go for the parachute regiment. I was like, what's that?
Yeah. So they kind of pushed you in that direction.
They said, they're the best, they're the hardest regiment to get in and all that. And they said, go into it. I was like, oh yeah, go for it. Went in there, obviously went through training, which was fucking horrendous. If you go through basic training in the parachute regiment, I got so much respect. You're a brother for life. If you made it into the parachute regiment, you're a brother for life. And
what sort of things do they put you through in that?
Just the beastings, man. It's like I do 12-hour shifts now, and I'm fucking exhausted. You're doing 24-hour shifts when I'm in basic training, and I'm getting fucking hammered by these corporals, and you've got some guy screaming in your face who you could snap his fucking neck in about 2 minutes, but you got to stand there going, yes, go.
Is that hard for you to suck it in and do that?
No, to be honest, it wasn't at the time because I was a 16, 17-year-old kid. And fucking hell, it was 31-year-old men in you lined up on the corridor, and it was like men crying. And I was like 17. I was like, you only shouted at him.
They didn't grow up in Abertillery, did they?
Yeah, that's what I was. I was like, fucking grow up, you fucking pussy. But yeah, that's like training's the best thing I ever done because when you finish training, you go to 1, 2, or 3 para, and you probably ain't gonna bother with each other again when you go from there. But the boys that you go through basic training with, that's their friends for life. They're the boys like.
Yeah, I bet there's no bond like it, is there?
No, and then obviously when you get to your battalion and meet your muckers, you go to fucking like Afghan and that. They're the ones again bond for life.
Yeah, I bet that's I couldn't even picture it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even going to pretend to understand it because it's a crazy thing, isn't it? What's like?
It's not. Do you know what? It's nothing to understand because I don't understand it. Like you get all these guys who go PTSD and all this, and a lot of them cunts who haven't done nothing, who've done nothing, sat in Camp Bastion eating KFC for fucking 6 months, and then they come back and they got PTSD and stuff like that. It pisses me off. It's like the real boys, and I know we're on a podcast and we should speak about things like that, but I won't even go into it. But the real boys are like para-edge lads, Marines and that, who've been on the front line and done bits and bobs. Like,
you don't feel like that.
You don't see them fucking crying on Facebook saying I'm fucking, you know what I mean? It's and they're the boys who really, really fucking seen it. Do you know what I mean?
Seen the trauma, like. Do you think because you've been through it though, they're kind of on the edge of it, so they're kind of a bit of both. Whereas because you've been through it, do you think you can kind of like you've had to find a place? Do you ever struggle with it at all, or is it not like even in your?
Yeah, you deal with everything in your own way, and that's why it's like I won't even talk about because.
That's fair enough.
You just deal with all that sort of stuff in your own way, and yeah, the only bugbear with me with that conversation is the amount of fucking retards I see that are like an RLC driver that have sat in Camp Bastion, which bear in mind to camp like in the middle of the desert, nothing happening, and they got KFCs, McDonald's, and yeah, you go by fuck, and then you got the guys on the front line who are fucking. My second tour, right? We got put into these little compounds, and right next to my bed, there was a mesh. Do you know like around the building site? Do you know the fences that go around the building
like
site?
terrace fencing.
Yeah.
Like.
One of them up against a big hole in the wall. Because it'd been blown up, and that's where my bed was. Like that's like, and your version of cooking is boiling water and putting a boil in the bag, and it's like.
So you're literally on a spot which has been blown up before, like
about a week before, and they coming back the next week. Do you know what I mean? It's like they come in for fucking round 2 the next week.
Fucking hell.
Like, fuck.
Do you like compartmentalize that? Do you like break it down into small things to try and like? What are you thinking in that moment? Like you just not.
No. All genuinely, right? I sound like a fucking soft fucker saying it like that, but all you ever think when you're out there, well, that's all I ever think because I'm in a brotherhood in the parachute regiment. I'm in a proper weird like that.
Yeah.
And it's all I used to think in them minutes is like fucking if something comes, I'm gonna protect my brother. My brother's gonna protect me. That's the sort of mentality you have. Like you don't really. Obviously, when you get home, you think, fucking hell, how didn't I get killed?
You don't think about yourself really as much as more about
try not to. No, and that's a mad thing, right? So I went in 2008. I was 18-year-old boy. I had no fucking friend, like no. So I done basic training in 2007. Finished basic training. My battalion had already gone to Afghan, so I got attached to my battalion in Afghan. So I went out there. Like, didn't know none of them at all. And it was one of them things, like we was out there, and, like, apparently nothing had happened before I'd got out there, and then when I got out there, things that, like, you know, it started kicking off a bit. And, like someone would die in free para, and, you know, like, it was like, everyone's down in the dumps. Like, I felt like an artless cunt, because I was like, I don't know him, and I'm glad it wasn't me. Like,
Yeah.
that was the mentality I had. I went back to Afghanistan in 2010, and fucking some of my best mates in the world were in free para. And then, you'd come over the net, they'd come over the net, they wouldn't say their name, they'd say their initials and their last four. And you could work out the last four of their army number. And you could work out, like, who had died. And it was like, in 2010, it was fucking, like, it synced me. In 2008, because I didn't know no fucker, and I was like, that's it. I wasn't in that brotherhood mentally.
Yeah.
It was like, it didn't bother me.
Better that then in 2000. Better take your soul, doesn't it? Because you just...
That's that tattoo on my arm, that's Conrad Lewis, that is. And the day he died, we was out on patrol, and I go, because he was up in a different, slightly away, literally about less than a kilometre away from us, but in a different little CP.
Yeah.
And it was him and Conrad. It was Conrad Lewis and Lewis Henry. They both died. One bullet, sniper shot, went straight through the one boy's face, went back at the other boy in the neck, killed them both. And unfortunately, Conrad's one of my really good mates, and then Lewis Henry was one of my mates, and just halfway through the tour, me and him had a falling out, like a fucking silly argument, right? An argument, and we wouldn't speak in, and then I went home on R&R, and he got moved to a different CP, when I was on R&R, and I got back, and then when I got back, he got killed that day. Wow. And it was one of them. It was like, I was like, you don't want to go to sleep with your missus on an argument, do you? Let alone fuck one of your best mates.
Oh mate, I bet that was horrific. Well,
it still is. It still is. He's with my buddy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You just gotta kind of know in that moment, he probably feels the same as you, innit?
Yeah.
You'd probably be fine, do you know what I mean, now, if things had moved forward, but...
Yeah, we would have. I was going to beat him up the night. We had an argument and we was going to have a fight, and he's just a wind-up merchant,
Yeah. He's
one of them guys who couldn't fight, but he'd keep pushing and pushing. I was like, I'm going to fucking fill you in.
So do they obviously know, you're a UFC fighter and whatever?
Well, in the army, yeah, what do you mean in the army?
Yeah, what do they think? Do they care about that, or do they just carry on?
No, in the army, obviously, I got into three-para, and I got on the boxing team. And three-para boxing team, not this end, me being biased, every time three-para enters the army championships, they win it.
Yeah.
Without, when they enter it, in the last 20 years, every time they've entered, they've won. They're the fucking best. So I went on to free para boxing team, and it was me. So obviously, so the way they work it, right? You fight another team, and there's 9 of them, but you got your bantamweights all the way up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
And we in free para they had the top 3, which was I was the light heavyweight, Sean Orsel was the cruiserweight, and fucking Errol was the heavyweight, and it was always as long as you've won 2 fights early, them meatheads are going to kill some fucker. And it was we was known as the big 3, it was like someone's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. So, in the paras, they all knew I could fight anyway because of the boxing. But they don't care about that. Other regiments, literally, if you're on the boxing team, that's you, right? You're a boxer. That's what you do, you're on the boxing team. In the para reg, we win it all the time, right? But you ain't a boxer. You were a paratrooper first. You were fucking going to war. You were fucking training for war. You were fucking at 100% readiness all the time.
Got a job to do.
Yeah, you got a job to do. And so then boxing season comes, which is, I think, is about 4 months boxing season is, straight after Christmas. So if you're on the boxing team, you ain't having Christmas leave. You're training.
Yeah.
You're being brought over for Christmas. But it's you got 4 months of boxing, and you the pride of the battalion, because the boxing team's so fucking great. That's if you want about your podcast things, right?
Yeah.
One day I'll have to take you to a 3-para boxing event, because military boxing events, I don't care if win or lose, whatever, they are better than fucking fucking Klitschko and Fury fighting.
Yeah.
A military boxing event, right? The way they set it up and it's out
Serious business, is it?
It's massive because that's why they
Can you
must
just
wear
turn,
so
can
much.
you just turn up and go?
No,
or
you obviously got to be a guest. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I'll always be a guest because I'm ex-free para, like as in. But I'd still have to have my name on the list. But if you want to do that, I'd contact him. Like the boxing coach of free para, Tyler Johnson. He if he watches this, which he probably will.
That'd be class,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. Honest God, mate, they're fucking outstanding. And that's just any boxing event. But do you know the finals? Oh, mate, the finals. They actually done 2 and 3 para ended up meeting each other in the finals, and they actually done like a fucking BT Sports. do you know, out of the blue, like as in the BT Sports wanted to film it and they broadcasted it live. It was like a massive event. It's only like 500 people there, and there's the one side's the one battalion, the other side's the other battalion.
It's like Eddie Earn's garden thing, is
Yeah.
it? Like, yeah.
It's fucking mental.
So, like, you're boxing in that then. How does that, like, do you have to get any permission to box now, or you just crack on because it's part of your job, innit, I suppose?
Well,
Like, you know, because obviously, like, if you're fighting under contract for someone, like, or whatever, does that even come into that? Or is that totally separate?
yeah. Well, obviously, I've left the army now.
Yeah. Before, though. Like,
Yeah,
was that...
yeah. Well, that's where I had dramas. It was like they was always good with me, but free para had done everything under the carpet. They basically sent me home. They said, "Go home, train, keep fucking knocking people out, and we'll be happy." Like they was well on free para. Like so when I've done a couple of interviews where I say fucking you know they kicked off on me. They done this, they done that, and when I left the army. They did shit on me a bit, but not free para. It was from Glasgow, which is where all the
decisions.
Yeah. So basically, so I was on 11 years and 7 months, so 12-year pension coming up. I got offered the Shabazian fight in Vegas on the John Jones card. Like I'd say fucking no.
Yeah.
Like and they turned around to me and they said, because I'd already signed off. I'd give my year. I'm getting out now. Next 1 year from this day, I'm out of the army.
Yeah.
I'd already give them that, so I thought they'd let me fight. And so I got offered that fight, and I went up to them, and they said they ain't gonna allow it. They said you out. So I was out of the army in literally 4 days.
What?
Like so when you leave the army is actually like a big fucking. Not a big deal, like a big fucking palaver. You gotta have final medicals. You gotta have, you gotta hand over all your kit, and there's a big list. You gotta go down. I didn't have none of that. I walked out to my room on the Monday, walked out and flew to Vegas on like the following Monday, and for the fight it was like, and I never spoke to him.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
How did that, like, how was that for preparing for that fight? Like, did that sort of...
it was fucking terrible. But I was with the boxing team. I was training. I was always staying in shape and that. But it was yeah. I've always been in that position where as long as I can make weight, I don't give a fuck. The fight's for the fight. People are like, oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Well, I'm fucking ready to fight tomorrow. So
Yeah. Born ready to fight.
I'm ready to fight in 2 minutes. But you know, if like you know, it's like. You just as long as the weight's on point, and you're all right. It don't make a difference.
You talked about like earlier. You're not going to go to 185 again.
Never.
So are you 205 then?
205.
Going on,
I actually got matched up to fight on the 24th of this month, a couple of weeks ago, because I signed to MTK. And I was going to do it, and then I fucking tore my calf again, which is a problem that I've had since 11 days before my UFC debut. I fucking literally, I was wrestling. A guy, Grant Elliott, went to take me down, put my foot back, and he just went twing. And honest God, I've had a couple of injuries over the years, but fuck me, it's the only injury that is constant.
Yeah,
constant. But yeah. So I was due to fight on the 24th of this month, and like now I got in my head because I'm so busy with work and I'm gonna have this year because I ain't in the fight shape at the minute. I've been very busy with other fucking aspects of my life. I'm gonna wait now till next year. I'm home for 3 weeks, which is the first time I've spent 3 weeks in fucking Wales in the last year, man. Because like in the last 4 months, I've spent 6 days in Artillery, like, so.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's,
Thanks for coming then, mate, because I didn't realise you were home that much.
Oh,
like.
no. I should be really, like, because I should only do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, but things happen here, and if you want to impress and you want to...
Like build your career outside of this.
If you want to be the person, you'll just stick on and do the jobs and stuff.
Yeah, so don't pay to be a no man sometimes.
Sometimes it was like, oh, fuck, he ain't dedicated. And I have, through fighting, through the army, through anything, I like whatever I actually get into, I'm like, I'm pretty obsessed.
You get 100%
like,
into it, is it?
Yeah.
So, who were you meant to be fighting this month for? Can you say?
Oh, to be honest with you, I can't remember the geezer's name. He was I can't remember the show. It was out in Czech Republic, which is in Krakow, so that sold me straight away. The money was fucking really good, and I was like, and there was a guy that, without being big-headed, like, my record in the UFC is like 50-50, right? Look who I fought. When have I ever fought above? Even before the UFC, when I was like, when I was on Bama and I was fighting for like the titles. I was fighting the best guys about.
I know that fight with Tom Watson was like fighting out of this world, wasn't it?
Oh, I actually really liked Tom. Like, me and him are sort of pally. I like the guy, man, and I was never gonna win that fight. But fuck, what happened, right? So, Bama messaged my manager at the time, and like off the fight, and he messaged me and offered it, and he said, "Oh yeah, but no, I don't think you should take it." I was like, and straight away I knew, if you've offered it me, if you've said it to me, you know I'm gonna say yeah. So fuck you, you prick. Fuck, you should have just kept it quiet to yourself. You should have, like, because I was like, no way in this world am I going to go, oh, no, I ain't fighting him. Like, it's like, fuck, I'll fight him. Fight him in a car park, the cunt. Fucking okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Just the type of person you are, like, you would never...
No, I still want... If you look at my fights in the UFC, I hear loads of people talking about, who's next? Who's this? Like, I never had a clue who's next. All I got was a text, a date, and a location. That's what I used to get. Like, send me location.
You never got a who? You never wanted a who? Like,
no. They used to send a name, a date, and a location. I used to send a thumbs up back. That's what, like, because I ain't with Graham and that anymore. Like, fucking, but like Graham Boylan, like, obviously he was my manager all the way through the UFC and that. And that's what I used to get every couple of months. Every couple of months was like fucking. You know what I mean? Not age, sex, and location, like fucking...
Yeah.
like
Snog, marry, avoid, like.
Yeah, but he used to just text me a name, wherever the fuck in the world I was fighting, and a date, and I used to just send a thumbs up, and he'd go, thanks.
Do you watch UFC, like, outside of fighting? So
I do when my mates are fighting, people I know, but I'm not a big sport guy. I'm not interested, right? So, do you know Tank fought on the weekend?
Yeah.
Right? Tank fought on the weekend, I was in work. And so I finished work half hour early, which is a big no-no. Like, I just chinned the boys off. I said, my buddy's fighting. I go to watch it. Went and sat in the living room area, right? And there's these other guys that are like course protection officers for individuals that are at the estate. Right. And you know, they was like, the fight was going on, and they was trying to criticise Tank, like, you know, like, going, oh, you should have squeezed that a bit on. I was raging.
Oh, yeah, didn't like it, like.
Do you know, I was like, what the fuck do you know? He's like, I got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I was like, I'm going to punch your fucking nose off.
He's fighting at, like, the highest level, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
This is it, right? So, I tell you what, even if you've just had a fight, you know the pressure, and you know the fucking everything else that goes with it.
I think, like, he was a last-minute opponent as well for him. Like, he's fucking...
Tank went in there fucking injured.
I know.
Went in there and absolutely annihilated the guy.
It was not even a question who won, like, is it?
It was like he beat him with his left hand.
Yeah.
Fuck me, do you know what I mean? It's like... And that's what I mean. But, so I say that, so he wouldn't just do it about Tank. He done it about 3 or 4 fights in a row, this boy sat next to me.
Yeah.
And I was bubbling, because
Darren Till should just get up off the floor.
I think Derek's quite good at keeping him there. You fucking idiot. It's like, yeah, no. But that's what I was sat there bubbling, because it's like, so many people, like I said about the...
I'm probably the same, to be fair, like when I'm watching them at home.
But when you watch it, but like you think to yourself, but you know how hard it is. It's the same as I said earlier, like about when people say, oh, you've done, or has been. It's like, well, you fucking never have been. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I know what I've achieved. I know where I've been. I've like, fucking, without being again, I could have list my accomplishments like that, but you don't see me harping on about all the time. I just like, I'm happy. As long as I was fighting, I met some great people through fighting. Like fucking Jack, his dad, loads of other lads like in the gym. Like,
yeah. Like you've also like you said, mate, you fought Killers Row. You fought everyone like who's on their way up, and like they after they fight you, they seem to have become a big name.
Main event next, like the only disappointing one for me is the Sebastian one, because I think I could have beat that cunt. I think I could have, like, I don't know when my head wasn't there at the right time. And then Strickland, I think if I had gone forward a bit more and fought it, like it would have been a little bit of a different fight. But Strickland's like literally the only guy that, do you know, I've ever fought, because all my mates, as soon as they fought someone, they're all best friends. I don't speak to. I've had fucking nearly 40 fucking fights, like pro, and then like countless amateur. I ain't friends with none of them. But me and Strickland message of a regular. Like, he's a weirdo. He messaged me. Some of the shits.
They're memes, mate. Of like Jack. He's just like shouting.
I sent him that the day before he beat Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
I said I'm sick of this shit now, you better fuck off. Sending him videos of him beating me, the prick.
Yeah, who was he? He's been sending like funny messages to Rockhold, didn't he, recently?
He hates Rockhold. He won't like Rockhold. Like, it's mad. What I like about Strickland is he basically said because after beating me, he went straight on 2 weeks later and he beat a guy, Brendan Allen.
Right.
Who's good, because Brendan Allen beat fucking Tom Breeze, and I've trained with Tom Breeze. He's a fucking killer. So he beat him, and then he beat that Brendan Allen. He said during the interview after it, they was like, why was you so aggressive? He said, because I hated him. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. He said, why wouldn't you like Hammer Marshman? He said, because he's as much of a wanker as me. he said he's as horrible as me. He wants to fucking kill me. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I did.
Your fight was fucking class to watch, like, innit? So, well, you've like you said, you fought him. Who was the other? Santos as well, wasn't it?
Santos, yeah.
Like, fucking hell, it's questionable if he beat Jones, like, innit? That fight was a very close fight, like.
But if you look at the video as well, it's questionable whether he beat me, but right?
Yeah.
I dropped him in the first round. He hit me with that spinning kick, which looked fantastic. But I put my hands behind my back and stopped myself from falling, which is something you don't do when you're unconscious.
No.
Fucking.
It's questionable, wasn't it? It was real.
Yeah. Well, it was a big uproar. But I remember the night of the fight, I put a big post because it was the night Derek Lewis, I was on the same card. Derek Lewis smashed, what's his name, Travis Brown.
Yeah.
And you know, he hit him about fucking 9 shots when he was unconscious and the ref didn't stop it. So it was an uproar about that, and I put a big post in it saying, I said, some too early, some too late. I said, you know, they're in the firing line. Don't blame the judges, like, which is true. It's like,
yeah. Well, like, I suppose he was looking at it like it was fucking one hell of a kick. He's probably thinking most men wouldn't be fucking staying around for that, would they?
Yeah, but I dropped, and then as soon as he jumped out on me, I put my hands up to stop his shot. It's like, I don't know.
Pissed off in the moment like that, or?
Oh, I feel if you go back and actually watch the video, right? So I drop, put my hands behind my back. He jumps down on me, and I'm trying to stop his shots, right? The only time I go limp, right, is, do you know when the ref jumps in?
Yeah.
I go.
Like, you know it's over.
I'm devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated because, like, fucking obviously, I just had made a fucking big debut, and I was like, fucking I knock this cunt out now, but that's me top 10 straight away. I was like, I'm jumping in, and then I got stopped like that. That's one of the worst injuries I've ever had. Though from that kick, I got that on the back.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
see it there, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, the doctors reckon because I flew home from Canada. Do you know, like recycled dirty air on the airplane? It got infected. Honest to God, right? I was waking up with my pillow stuck to my head. And it was like pulsing. Honest to God, I thought I had brain damage. Went down, right. My daughter hadn't long just been born. Went down to the hospital. I had my baby with me. I was on my own with her. Went down. I had her. The nurse got me. Said, "Oh, what's it name?" And for the life of me, I couldn't remember her fucking name. My daughter's. I was like, her name is Molly Bree Marshman. I went, Bree.
Just completely
yeah. Do you know, just spun me out, and I was like, oh my God, I've taken too much damage. You ought to slow down.
It was because of that, the infection, was it? Fucking
in the infection. Honest to God, I was in agony with it. I've had injury, like I said, tore my calf. I've had other injuries, but that's like from that kick is the worst pain I've had, because I was waking up. I thought I had like fucking dementia and fucking all sorts.
Infection though can make you delirious and everything, can't it? It can make you not know where you are,
waking up, my pillow was stuck to my head. I was like,
fucking hell.
Pull it off to go out. I was like, funny, it was one of the boys, Owen Parry, was at the gym, and his missus worked down in not the brain scan, but just the scanning place.
Urology,
in Everall, and just like he sorted me out. I was like, bro, I need to go, and he sorted me out. Like, he got it done. But
how's it looking?
Oh yeah,
can you see like any damage and all, or?
I know I go. Yeah, I know. I'm forgetful. Like, I know that, but I through my style of fighting, it was always going to be that way. But I ain't worried about it. I ain't fucking hell.
You accept it, basically.
I want to forget a lot of things.
Yeah, just wipe out all the bad shit. So, are you with UFC now, Jack, or are you?
No,
you're not. Are you? I didn't know that.
No, I'm out of the UFC. I thought they would have kept me. They would have kept me on after the Strickland fight, because, you know what I mean, it was
the
like,
type of fight it was.
I've just fought a guy who's probably close to the title, and he wasn't close to fucking finishing me, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't really had him out in a second. I thought they would have kept me, but I ain't that ass, to be honest with you. Like I said, this sport have always just been a fucking hobby to me. I enjoy fighting. That's the be all and end of it. And it's fuck all to do with money, and it's like I earn good money with what I do now, and it's like I've just enjoyed fighting all my life.
So what's the next move? Any companies? Obviously, you said you had a fight book. That wasn't with them then.
No. It was some random. Going into it deep now, but basically, so some company messaged me when they found out I was out of the UFC, and they was offering me good money, like, you know, to turn up and to win. And so then I signed with MTK, and they come to me with the same company. So I said to them, well, what's the money? Because it's one of them things. It's like. Is
there someone trying to get you over on one or something?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I won the same money as what they offered me privately. Not through a manager. I won the same money coming to me, because otherwise I'll just go to them direct. Because they message me direct off fucking social media. So I'll if they won that fight, I'll go to them and say, yeah, because it's good, like really good money. It's like, and good money when you fight it. When you just do it because you love it, good money's fucking great, because it's
it's a no
for free. I got a job. I'm busy with my other shit, but I'm up there for a fight. So fucking if they're offering me good money to have a fight, something I do in fucking Tyler's Arms on the weekend. Like, do you know what I mean?
So you do for a hobby, like.
Yeah. But I don't ever fight when I'm out anymore.
So it's happened, like, when
I first joined the army, we went to we was in Colchester, and it was this big bouncer on the door. And fuck me, I used to fight with him. It was the 80s it was. I used to fight with a cunt every weekend. And he, like every now and then he'd see me in there and he'd just look at me and go, can we just leave it tonight? I'd be like, yeah, good.
You'd be like, I'm going on the sick. I can't be fucked with this.
He used to enjoy the fight as much as me.
If he's just feeling a bit rough, he didn't fancy it, is it? Fuck it out. That's a thing though, isn't it? Like I expect growing up in Aberdeen, you're gonna like just anywhere around here really, you find yourself in them situations anyway, don't you?
My brothers was like nuisances, and then like you sort of like they're fucking great guys. My brothers are my best mates, but yeah, like you know, what I mean, they used to get in trouble and then you sort of follow suit.
Yeah, well, you
think it's standard.
It's kind of same with me and my brother really, like because he's 6 years older than me. He was going out doing all the things he shouldn't have been doing way before I was, but I was like aspiring to be that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I was looking at him thinking, like that looks fucking great, that does. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm off for my big bro.
Yeah, and then when I was like 16, 17, fuck, he's just straight. I remember when I was 16, I went down to Swansea with him and his mates on a night out. I had his ID, because we look kind of similar. And we both going in the same places, mind. I was using his ID. And I got fucking kicked out of the one place and they took his ID off me. So it was like last ditch Oceania then or whatever at the end of the night. He went in with his passport. One of the other boys bought it out for me. I went in. Like, I remember being 16, we're outside like the fucking kebab shop, fighting with a load of people. Like, it just fucking happens, like, doesn't it? Yeah. Especially when you're that age, you don't give a fuck, like, do you?
South Wales seem to be more common for it than anywhere else.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm any fucking good most of the time. I get beaten up.
Mate. But it ain't about being fucking good. It's like, it seems like you can... Like, I've gone into kebab shops and I'll have some fucking 40-year-old fucking geezer that's, like, never thrown a punch in his life starting on me, and I'm like, come on, but you don't want this.
Google me.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it. I'd say Google me when you wake up, you cunt.
Yeah. You know just take his phone out of his pocket when he's on the floor.
But I just, you get it, like, as you get older, obviously you fucking avoid that like the plague. Like you're like, I don't want that nuisance anymore. But fucking.
So I don't go out, to be honest, anymore, really, because it's fucking never worth the hassle.
Do you know, since the lockdown, that's why I'm like I used to love going out on the weekends. I'd rather do something with my missus, kids. Do you know what I mean? I that's what I'm about now. Like more than
same. Yeah. To be honest with you, it kind of opened my eyes, like, because I had like a month at home solid. Like I was working from home. There's no work to actually do. And like just spent so much...
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's fucking class, to be honest. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like I fucking lost a shit ton of weight. I was just training all the time. Yeah. I can put it all back on mine, but...
It's all back up now.
Yeah, I know. That's it. All the kebab shops are open. Like I'm fucked. But I just realised like fucking what's important. Like I don't... You know, like you're not going out all the time. It was just a break I needed. Like
that's the same as me. Like even with working and now, work and training. So, like I said, I've spent 6 days in Aberdeen in the last, like, 3 months. But now I've like, because I'm earning good money. I'm doing my own little thing, and but I've made a point now. I've got a different job actually, like for the same family, but like a different, because I wanted it. Like I got, you know, like an happy medium of. I ain't gonna make fucking millions. I'll make good money, but I'll be home every weekend and see my little girl. Yeah. So I got a choice. I can make really good money, but fucking, do you know what you see on Facebook, me posting? That'd be my life forever just doing that shit. No. What
are you doing it for, like, innit?
Yeah. That's for me. I want to fucking go on holidays with my little girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck about fucking being in Saint-Tropez and fucking... posting gay pictures of yachts and that, like, it's like, who gives a fuck? It's like, I'd rather just be fucking on the beach in Paris with my little girl.
It's class, man. Because we've just had a little one now 7 weeks ago, like, and
well done,
it's fucking life changing, isn't it?
Yeah. What have we got?
Girl. Yeah, little girl, yeah.
Oh, sorry, but.
Mate, we didn't know, right? It was a surprise. And every scanner we went to, the scanner was like, oh yeah, he's looking good. The one even said he's got everything he's entitled to. And we were thinking like it's bound to be a fucking boy, innit?
Dick on it.
I was thinking, like, she hasn't got a dick, by the way. She fucking...
Crying.
She'd come out, right? And I was looking like, And my missus was like, the other end of the bed, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna tell her what she's had, like," because my missus was like in pain or whatever. And I was like, I can't fucking see it. I was like looking around, like, it's not fucking there, like. Proper fried my head. Like, it took me a minute to realise, fucking hell, we actually had a girl here. Like,
I think little girls are harder, I do, but I think they. So how old? She's 7 weeks.
7 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I think little girls are harder because women are more independent. She'll be a little diva. Like my little girl's a fucking diva. She's a nightmare. But like my sister got a boy and he's like dependent on the parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mate, it's just
having a kid's a life changer. But I'm telling you, no.
oh yeah, it's like
I'm a different person. I was a bit. I say I was. Like, I was a nightmare with the women and that. But as soon as I've had a daughter, I'm happy.
yeah, mate, it's such a crazy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it just fries your head. Like, when we almost lost her like 3 days in, she had like a choking incident.
Oh,
We had to go up to hospital. And like, ever since then, right, I've like took a positive from it of like, I ain't fucking, like, my perspective's changed, like my life's changed. This is what all I fucking care about now is my family. Like, do you know what I mean?
I mind that because I'm not with my daughter's mother. Like, never have been. We never been together. Like, but it's like we fucking, like, everyone do. They have their arguments and that. But I got like nothing but like respect for it. You know, because what a good mother she is. So like you experiencing that about the baby choking. I haven't had to go through that.
Yeah.
Because her mother have gone through all that, and it's like I got like even though we're friendly, we're nice enough to like, but fucking yeah, I appreciate that sort of shit because fuck me.
Your daughter's probably the most important person in the world to you, innit? And you can see
100%
what her mother's doing for her, innit, I suppose. So
and that's exactly what it is because it's like nothing but respect for her because
massive responsibility, innit,
she's
as
a
well.
prick, like. I had to get that in.
Yeah, she'll be watching this, like, he's being too nice to me by you. He's being too nice.
Just in case she watches it.
She'd be thinking, I got him now. I fucking got him, right?
Let's get some money out of him.
How much is he paying getting for that fight?
So I'm adding it up.
I'm not getting much. I thought you went quiet.
Yeah, no, 500 quid for the fight, but it's cheap as fuck.
Fucking hell.
Funny, man.
Class,
If I can kick off about this.
Is that why you didn't want to come, is it? What? I can fucking tell you didn't want to be here.
Aye. I'll tell you after this.
Fuck's sake. What are we going to go into? I got a couple of questions off people on Instagram. I've seen you share it as well. Thanks for that. One of them is, and this will, I don't have a fucking clue what it means, but he reckons you'll know. When is that crow bag back in the ring? When is that crow bag back in the ring? That means nothing to me.
So a crow bag, like, is, do you know, like a new recruit in the army? Like, we call them, so you call them crow bags when in Endeavour, but you Joe bags in the para reg. So, do you know who said it?
Let's have a look. I'll have to maybe blank his name out. Jakey Math?
No, I'll have a look later, but no. Basically, a crow bag is like a new recruit in the army. Done 12 years, you cunt. 12 years bluffing it, being a boxer and I like, but hey, I done more tours than any other fucker. So, no, I genuinely, you'll see me next year because next year's my last year. You'll see, like, I'm 32 in December, and I'm done with fighting because I got my own little career path and I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm earning good money and it's like, so I'm gonna fight. I want to fight like twice next year and call it a day. But yeah, just like, no, I don't want to be that fucking 35-year-old fucking brain dead. Because everyone knows what level I'm at. I don't want to ever lower my level. I don't want anyone to remember my last fight to be against some fucking bum from fucking Bristol and getting battered rather than fucking losing a fight to like one of the best guys in the world in Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Kind of lower your stock for everything else as well a bit, innit? If you like go too long.
Yeah. If I was going down the route of doing like you said, like it would, but I'm probably not going to go down that route. I'm happy with the security. I'm good at it, and I get to travel the world and
Yeah.
meet weird people.
There's plenty of them about.
Yeah, oh, fucking loads of them.
I see you did a lot, like some training over Jackson Wink, did you? I'd like to talk about that a bit. What was that like?
Yeah, brilliant. The first time, funny enough, tomorrow I brought my car home from London, but I got a different car up in Crawley.
Right.
And tomorrow I'm catching the train.
Mind if I just push that a bit closer?
Yeah. I'm I'm going up on the morning, up on the train to Crawley, pick my old car up, and I'm picking up, do you know Cameron Else?
No.
UFC, he's in the Paras.
All right.
Paras, but he's in the UFC, he's bantamweight. And he's coming down he want to train at
Sure, yeah.
So
That'd be class, wouldn't it?
But when I first got into UFC, I went to Jackson Wink and I went to it through him. So I used to stay on his fucking floor in a little apartment. Fucking brilliant boy, Cam is. He you said mad, totally random story. But the first night I got Jackson Wink, when they trained, went out with Cam Else. Obviously, me and him had been to Afghanistan together, and this other guy Flavian, and we went out. He was out having a good night. He kicked off, and some fucking geezer come out and put a fucking gun out to fucking Cam Else. And he was going, "Oh fuck it, shoot me there, shoot me." I was like, what the fuck is happening? So in America, like in the middle of the high street, and the boy just fucking shot off. He did run off. He was like a fucking nude. It was because it was something to do with like I think Cam had spoke to the girls he was with, and the boy was never going to do anything, but he just
trying to scare
he
him.
got angry and he just. In High Street in the middle of Albuquerque, New Mexico, mind.
Is that like a regular occurrence over there, do you think?
That's first and only time I seen it, but that was my first night in Albuquerque. I was like, and then the next day we were Cam's really good friends with Cowboy, like really good friends with him. So we was invited to go out, and no one else is invited. I was obviously a new guy, and they invited us out to go out to the fucking. We went out to the lakes on his boat. Do you know they will do the fucking
jet skiing and all that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Went out and I got hammered on the boat. I was like, I'm here to be training. It's fucking amazing.
Just ended up on the piss all the time. Is it?
No, just them 2 days, but it was like, oh yeah.
What's like Cowboy to be around? How's he? I would imagine he's wild, isn't he?
See, it's a matter of because I'm not false. I ain't gonna act like a liar. Do you know everyone gives like Cowboy, gives like John Jones a bad name and stuff like that? I met that guy and he's such a, and I was sparring with him and they kept calling me in to go, because in Jackson Wink, you got the matted area where everyone else is sparring, and then there's 2 cages, and you normally have like, at the time it was like Cowboy was sparring in one and John Jones was sparring in the other. And they used to kept calling me over saying, no, you in with John next, you in with fucking Cowboy next. What I kept doing that. Could like obviously they seen my level and they was like, hey, jump in there. I sparred with John Jones and fucking bored, because the guy could knock me out. Let's be real.
Yeah,
he's a fucking. He's the best out of.
Yeah.
We'd spar. He'd throw hard, but he. Do you know what I mean? If he caught me off, I caught him with a shot. He got a good shot. Like he was a good guy. But God, I ain't gonna lie, he was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
A bit of a dick, man. I didn't like him, man. He'd fucking. He'd get aggressive sparring, and I've never got aggressive because it's just this fight. Like I don't feel the need to be aggressive about a fight. It's like, is any or not? And then he'd I don't know. He so he used to turn up late to sparring that as well, which used to piss me off with like an entourage. And I used to think, who the fuck are you? Like John Jones is there, fucking mopping the fucking mats.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then Cowboy turn up like, yeah, I'm super sad. Fuck off.
I bet that's like completely against what anyone would think. Like
So
totally against what I think. Like
so if you watch back what we just said, I sort of went because I'm
you're going against
all I can say is my opinion, and I know what I've seen. And funny enough, like I said, I'm picking Cam up tomorrow, and Cam's best friends with Cowboy. So it ain't like I'm signing him off. I just think he probably ain't that guy that everyone think is like the nice. Oh, let's have everyone round. But he's like. he can be rude, like.
Yeah. I think we're all capable of it.
Hey,
And we like,
oh, I die. I'm sure you could dig up a few people who say I'm a prick. Normally women.
I think that's just the way it is. I think it's all like what stage people meet you in your life, and like I think like if people meet me now, I like to think people think I'm a nice guy, but a few years ago, like someone may not have seen me from then till now, and they probably think I'm a fucking wanker. Like,
I love that because you got to be adult enough to realise, right, that people are different people when they grow up. Yeah, but only people who've probably, do you know, if you was a bit of a prick before, like I was a prick before. People like us realise how different we are, but do you know other people sometimes it take a lot to realise that people actually fucking change.
You've got to apply that to other people as well. I mean, you can't just say like I've changed, I'm not a prick anymore, and then go around thinking like he's a prick, because he might not be like either, innit?
No,
like you know.
I don't judge anyone. I don't like with what they're doing, whatever. I don't judge anyone.
Like you said though, it's because like you haven't got that he's a has-been mentality like sort of thing, because you're doing your own thing. You're in your own lane, aren't you?
This is the best thing, right? So I've been where I've been. Like I was never going to be the champion. I was never going to do that, and I was well aware of that myself. But do you know anyone coming through? Do you know fucking Mason Jones, Jack Shaw? Do you know any of them? I want them the best. So how can people sit there and like, you know, like, oh, fucking, like, slag me off and, ask me. I'm sat there, I couldn't give a fuck. I wish the best for fucking Tiny Tim coming through and we've had 2 amateur fights. I don't give a fuck. Like, I wish the best for him because I got respect for the sport and I know how hard it is to get there.
Yeah.
So, like, fucking, I wish the best for everyone. Is it like, and then you get people who, like, seem to think, like, as if I'd be, like, gutted that I'm not at the top. But fucking, I'm 32 years of age, mate. I ain't worried about being at the top. I've enjoyed my fighting career. I've done everything I've done. I fucking fought at Madison Square Gardens, fought at the O2, fought all over the world. I'm not arsed. I'm happy. And I'm still classed as one of the fucking fighters that any middleweight in the world, if they get matched up with me, even if they think they're better than me, they'll think I'm in for a fucking tough night, yeah? Like, I mean, like, this can't end giving up quick.
Yeah, you ain't getting put away
But even if they put me away, they know it's going to be hard to get me in that position. And so, I don't know. I'm one of them people. Like, so my next couple of fights will be for because I enjoy fighting, because I got other things going on in my life, and I'm happy with what I've achieved. I've done everything I want. I've done everything and more. I started fighting to do it as a fucking, as an hobby.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As a hobby, and then all of a sudden, my 5th amateur fight, I beat Dave Coles, which is the black belt that gave Shaky his black belt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just like I beat him twice in a row. I fought him that night, and then I fought him about 4 months later. I beat and then I beat fucking a really good black belt, a Brazilian guy. Fucking, I beat him when I was still a white belt, like in MMA. Obviously, I was lumping him in the face, so it was a bit different to BJJ, but I still fucked him up. It was like I've achieved everything I wanted.
Do you think I was just like pure rawness, Jack? Like pure just raw talent and aggression.
So beating Dave Coles, which, like I said, was the one who gave Shaky his black belt. Shaky's 10 times better than him. Let's not get into the politics and stuff. Shaky's a different level, man. He's you roll with that old bastard. Roll that old bastard and he'll squeeze your head off. With his bad knee, he'll still fucking kill you. Yeah. He's good. He's good. But Dave gave him it, because obviously it's through the linear edge sort of thing. Dave gave him it, but I fought Dave twice. And when I first fought Dave, because we was at the Falcons at the time, me aunt, like, Shaky was coaching me, but fucking not getting paid for it. It was Eve Gate was having all the money, and we was there, and the fight got offered to me, and I was a fucking 16-year-old kid. I was like, a fat kid. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, and Eve Gate was like, no, you can't. he's a black belt, you're a white belt. He's like, no, you can't. He was like, yeah, he'd be all right, man. He'd be all right. Like, I went and fucked him up. He was like, I fucking told you.
Was that because, do you think they knew what was going to happen, maybe? Or
Shaky just always had, I think he always had faith in me. And plus, he knew. Do you know if I had lost that, like my fourth amateur fight against a fucking BJJ, but I'm not someone who's going to go cry in the corner. Like, fuck it. Yeah, so
gain experience.
So I'm going to go beat some fucking else up into the next.
Yeah.
I used to, when I used to get matched up amateur, I used to Google people's names, like on YouTube. Like, I turned out I thought this guy Matt Gordon, just because this one sticks in my head. And fucking, I watched all these videos of him, and there's this fucking big juice of white skinhead guy. Turned up to the fight, and there was a fucking black guy, fucking like a beanpole, like skinny as fuck, tall as fuck. I was like, that's not the same guy. So I was
be on the sunbeds, like,
you're right, Javatan's this son. No, but I just yeah, like that's when I stopped like trying to watch who I was fighting, and I just thought, fuck it, just turn up. And I thought, it's nice when your coaches make a game plan for you, but let's be real, when I'm in there, there's lots of bumps in that road. So do you know the road they've set out for you to win?
Yeah.
There's loads of bumps in that road.
They've probably, like, as well, planned to fight you different to whoever they fought before as well, innit? So you kind of, like, both trying to fight each other's game plans in a way then, aren't you? It's not as straightforward as just turn up and be, you just got to be the best you, I suppose, haven't you? Not worry too much about, like, what anyone else is doing, like, to a degree, like, isn't it?
No, that's bang on the money. That's all I've ever had in my head was just turn up and fight the way you can fight.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people say, like, double down on your weaknesses, like, but you double down on your strengths as well, can't you?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're fucking good at, like.
But so, like, obviously I had to work on my wrestling and grappling, but then sometimes I was based up with Colchester, and I was on the boxing team. You know, so I was just boxed. So, like, when I fought Phillips, I literally just boxed for fucking 3 months, didn't even grapple once, and everyone was like, wow, why didn't you try and take him down? I was like, fucking, I wouldn't really go in for that.
Yeah, you haven't been working on that. Mate, that's a crazy thought to think, like, you weren't doing, like, sort of full MMA camps for these things.
Yeah, no, that was about my fucking, that's about my 5th MMA fight, my 5th UFC fight or something like that it was.
So, you and John now, like, are you, because he's training up Shaw's
yeah, he's
now,
training.
isn't he?
I've obviously been away, but I'm home for 3 weeks now, so I'll go punch him in the face now in a couple of weeks. No, I like John. He's a scary man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got fucking dynamite in his hands, isn't he?
Dynamite in his hand, he's a vicious cunt, and I like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a vicious cunt.
Do you reckon you two get along now, like?
Oh, 100% we would, man. 100% we would. I don't know, but I don't think you'd have him down there if we weren't going to get along, because I'd like to think, like, you know what I mean, he's like a father figure to me, I think. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't have an enemy of mine down there, but no, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't.
See
think.
how it goes. He'll be all right.
We'll have explosive sparring because he's an horrible cunt. Fucking, I hope I don't get it in the face with him because he's a fucking beast.
I know. Fuck, he's had some knockouts as well, hasn't he? It's,
but he hits like a tank, and I knew that going into the fight with him. Everyone was like, "Oh, running away." I was like, "Fucking mate, it's the only way I'm winning." Because as well, the reason I give John respect as well is because, like, he don't get knocked out either. As like, he's short stocky, do you know, similar to Tyson. Got that short stocky, but you'd have to hit him with a fucking shot and a half to hurt him. And he's the same as me. I'm happy to walk forward. Do you know if a jab's it now? Cheers, buddy. Oh, if you get hit a good shot, like, I don't mind taking a couple of shots to fucking hit him with a good one.
Yeah.
And I think he's the same because he don't get hurt very often because he's short, stocky. Because he don't get hurt, he's like he's
happy to walk through
he's
it.
more than happy like that. And when I'm fighting someone, I know when I'm sparring people, I can see the like what's it called, the pride now. I can see it dropping. Because, like, do you know when you're walking forward going, yeah, that ain't hurting. Like, you see them start going, fuck.
You know they're going to get one off you eventually.
Yeah, I'm on you now, you little bastard.
That'd be interesting to see, because I don't think he's fighting for UFC anymore either, is he?
No. I heard what his plans are. Hopefully they will, because he's a fucking beast, man. He's an exciting fighter, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't have a fucking good run in the UFC. He got fucking put up against killers, row, man.
I know, yeah. Wrestlers as well, like, innit? Like,
that's what I mean, but killers as well, like good level wrestlers. Fucking put him up. I watched UFC on the weekend, and there was a couple of them on there that, like it was at the middleweight, that Mark Andrade or whatever he is, the Canadian.
yeah.
That he keep calling me out, he do. I had to message him a couple months ago saying, mate, I ain't even with the UFC anymore. Like, so it was like, fucking, like, shut up, like, you fucking weirdo. And he was sound like, obviously, but I watched him and the guy that he fought, and I thought, fuck me, give me one of these bitter bums, because a bunch of fucking hole in them, like. And the same as Phillips would. It's just we like up against Chimaev.
Do you think they, like, because they surely, like, the UFC kind of know what they're doing. They're trying to build people as well, and they're giving people certain fights, like, do you know what I mean?
Sort of.
To a level, in there.
To a level, and then when you mean Killers Row, you mean there.
Yeah, and it's kind of no stepping back from that, is it, either then?
I think perhaps if I'd have lost my debut, they might have
fed you a few, like,
a different route. But no, it's like, because I had a big knockout against a guy who was 5-0 in the UFC, he was like, fight this guy, and I was happy with that, because I didn't give a fuck. I was happy to fight. I'd fight Thiago Santos at light heavyweight. No, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I think I caught him with a shot, and with a bit more confidence in me, I think I'd spark a cunt.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I just, at the time, I was nervous, and he was a big name, and I wasn't, and yeah.
I suppose the thing is, like, it's probably like a weird thing, innit? A lad from Abertillery or like anyone from around here, you struggle to see yourself in these situations, I bet, because no one's fucking doing it, like, are they?
But I
know you've done it, but...
Mate, I was in fucking Halifax, Canada, snow up this side, like, me, my brother, Shaky and Tank. I was like, I fucking never experienced this shit before. It was like, furthest I thought was Edville Life Centre. I was like, this big fucking thing, and he was chucking us wads of money, and it's mad. But it's all life experience.
It's class, mate.
I got no regrets with it.
No. Well, I think you've done amazing, mate, as well, especially for, like, local, like, so I'd be interested to see what happens next in these next two fights. Is that any of them going to be in the UK, do you reckon? Is that...
Ideally, yeah, because like I said, I know I ain't fighting next year. Well, obviously, I'll fight next year. No, the year after, I will not fight again. I get old now, and I like spending time with my daughter. I keep losing my keys and my bank card and that, so my head's...
I suppose that's a worry for a lot of people, like, isn't it?
Mine probably a little bit more, I'd think, because of the way I do things.
So 2 more, and that's that, like...
Yeah, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I hope one's in the UK, because it'd be cool to come along, like, hopefully this COVID shit fucks off.
I hope it is. Now it's opening back up, because I'd rather both of me in the UK, because I'd love my friends and family to come to them, because...
You just don't really have a chance when it's in, like, Vegas or whatever, do they? It's like a different...
My family have come to ones that have been abroad, but, like, I wouldn't expect them to at the minute, especially after COVID.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, have you got anything you want to say before we
thanks for having me, but I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, mate. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure, honestly.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, Jack. Take it easy, mate. Yeah, happy days. Like and subscribe.
Experience Real Podcast.
Fighting out of Abertillery, South Wales, Jack the Hammer